Hi people, I hope we're all doing very well. So I've just finished recording another student interview with my student Kevin. Now Kevin is a student here at Southampton University, and he's very recently been able to make some very considerable profits, upwards of £10,000 in just a single day. In this interview we talk about his previous experiences, how he got started with me, how he's been able to manage his trading around his university course, and then most importantly what his future plans are. So keep watching, let me know what you think of the interview, and then if you are looking to get involved with the program, just hit the link down below in the description and I'll be sure to send you across all the information. Hi mate, how are you?
Hello.
Hi mate, can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you. Am I all good?
Perfect, yes I can hear you mate. How are you anyway?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you mate. Thank you for coming on there anyway.
That's all right.
Long awaited interview. All right, cool. So yeah, let's get straight into it then. So firstly, tell us what's your name, what you're doing for work. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Kevin. I'm obviously mainly at uni. I do a little work within a family business as well, here and there, a few hours a week, nothing too major. But apart from that, I just go gym, typical teenager lifestyle, really, not too much on my plate.
Easy teenage life. All right, cool. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your trading experience then. Where did it start? Take us right back to the beginning.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do, I think it was like, I literally just turned 18. I saw a few bits about Forex trading and I was like, okay, it looks pretty nice. And I tried teaching myself on YouTube because I didn't really quite value the course and all that typical thing we see on Instagram. Oh, this guy's a scammer, this guy's a scammer. So I tried teaching myself. Went on trading 2-on-2 because I don't know how to use all the brokerages and all that stuff. Started making 2p, 10p profit, getting all excited when I saw that green. And then, started from that and then eventually ended up joining SOFX.
Okay, cool. So before, obviously you're trading on your own, but before that, did you follow any signals, anything like that? Or was it just 100% sort of starting on your own?
Nah, yeah, I didn't do any of the signal stuff. Luckily, I think that saved me quite a bit of money. I just saw all the stuff I could have found on YouTube and tried doing it myself. I mean, it was a bit choppy, not really consistent. You know, I wasn't following any schedule. I was just seeing what looked all right and then went for it. But yeah.
So I mean, you probably been lucky there, not falling for the whole signal stuff and getting stuck in all of that. But yeah, so let's talk about your journey then. So when you joined us at Forex Kickstarter, was that your sort of first sort of experience of any form of trading education?
Yeah, it was my first ever thing. I think I DM'd, I think it might have been you or another person that was at SOFX at the time. And I was like, okay, I think it's time now because I was on a bit of a losing streak on my own. So I was like, all right, I think I need to actually get some proper education here. Went into SOFX, the first one I've ever been with, tried to get to, and it's been brilliant.
All right. So how have you sort of found that learning experience then? So from being a complete beginner to now, obviously we're talking about how well you're doing in a little bit, but what's your experience been so far with going from being a complete beginner to somebody that's now doing fairly well?
Yeah, well, SOFX, as soon as I started learning, making my way through the videos, obviously it helped that I knew a little bit, like some of like the basic knowledge about pips and trend lines and all that. It just made it really smooth, the way that it was laid out, the platform, especially the team meetings every week. It drilled in that knowledge, that key knowledge you needed to learn. And for me, having that repetition in my mind all the time is what made me start being a bit consistent.
Yeah, just sort of going over things over and over again, just drilling it in. So I mean, it's only really been fairly recent that we've been doing quite well and you've been getting some really good results. What do you think has been sort of pivotal for you in the last sort of, I mean, we're probably looking at the last sort of 6 weeks, we've been getting some really nice results from yourself. What do you think has been the sort of the most pivotal point there that's helped you go from somebody that perhaps wasn't as consistent, you weren't putting in those results that you thought you would, that you were trying to? What do you think has been that pivotal point that's helped you get to that stage?
Yeah, I think it's been, obviously with the weekly meetings, I've been seeing you or Ruben sometimes on the Kickstarter platform. I see stuff that you guys would have done and I was like, okay, I did that. So then it was the confidence that I had in myself, like, okay, I'm seeing them do it. It's working well for them. I was believing myself, do the proper risk management, and
Mhm.
then just going for it, doing my own trades as well as what you guys might have suggested you've seen on the markets as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so you, as well as that, you're obviously in uni. How have you managed that learning process while still being in uni?
Yeah, so what I've basically done, I've always scheduled my time. The market's being open 5 days a week. I always make sure Sunday I'll do my main chart ups. Monday I'll check it again when market's open, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays I give it a little midweek look. So I think having it in as a consistent schedule really helps. Like if you just go at it half-assed, you kind
Hmm.
of you're just not getting the same results. You're not looking at the same days. Charts get different. You don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, but that's something that, I mean, well, you're obviously in the program. That's something that we try and drill into to our students as much
Mm.
as possible. Is if you're just going to sort of try and jump on the charts every morning and try and just find a trade, then you're probably not going to find a trade. It's all about that preparation. I put it on my story all the time. Like my work week is done and it's only Sunday morning.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but
exactly.
I think you'll agree with me. Now you're at that level of being consistently profitable. It's all in the prep. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, 100%. Always in like getting your charts done. Make sure you've done the charting properly, giving it a good look. You're not rushing into a trade just because you see one candle. You've got like five, six things going for it. It helps a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk a bit about your profits. Then you've obviously just done like exceptionally well. Over the last 6 or so weeks, you've had some five-figure days. Most recently, sending over the profit shot of that £10,000 day, which
Yeah.
is of course insane. So very, very well done on that. How does it feel, first and foremost, to sort of really get that first breakthrough?
Insane. Honestly, when I was even seeing those 2p coming in, I was like, am I really making money off my phone just sat on my ass pretty much? It's like it doesn't feel real. I don't think even for a few years I'll be able to get over that. But especially I reckon Forex is a skill, not just a bit of knowledge here and there, getting lucky.
Hmm.
Really having that skill paying you, I think is just an unreal feeling. Knowing that your hard work pays off. If you do put in the hard work, obviously some people can do it in 2 months, some people could do it in 2, 3 years. Having that work out well financially is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So how long is it since you started that live account? How long has it been since you started the account to now where you've just done a five-figure day?
Yeah, I think I first started, it was either the start of lockdown, like the first start of the first lockdown, or just a bit before that. So what's that, like a year and a half, maybe 2 years?
Yeah, and pretty much for the majority of that time, we've not really been getting anywhere. It's only been fairly recent
Yeah.
that we've
Yeah.
like actually like leveled things up. Um, so yeah, I mean, you put in the work, and now you're seeing the results. Um, what you planning on spending that money on? Are you reinvesting it, keeping it in the account? Are you withdrawing it? What's your plans there?
For the moment, I'm thinking of just keeping it into the account until it gets to a decent size. I'm happy to keep it. I reckon like keep it at a certain figure roughly, and then profits I make over that just withdraw, enjoy it a bit myself, and then I reckon if I can make say five-figure days consistently, a few times a week, a few times a month, and I've
Hmm.
got that certain amount in my account, I'll be happy just withdrawing it. Finally, start enjoying my stuff, not spending it this early because otherwise I'll end up with nothing.
So many people have done it.
Mm.
I've had a few students that have had that first five-figure day. They've worked like a year up to actually to being able to do it. They've done it once. They've withdrawn all their money, and then they've like gone and just like spent that money, and now they're nowhere. So
Mm.
I think now is the time where probably more discipline than ever is going to kick in, and you actually have to try and just keep that like smart head on, keep that money in the account, to stick to that process so
Yeah,
that you can
100%.
like now you've made that first initial like leap in capital. It's now about scaling that up and trying to
Mm.
compound, and that's when you can start having like six-figure weeks and like considerable amounts of money coming in that every single week.
Mm. Hopefully, yeah.
So how are you? We've touched on a little bit about the routines, but now you're obviously bringing in some decent money. Um, you're at uni at the moment. What's your plans going forward then with your trading? Now things are going quite well.
I reckon if I can make a consistent good amount of money, I'll probably try and pursue that full time. Obviously, it helps that I've got a family business as well that it can kind of run itself. I can help out a little bit there. I don't have to worry too much about
Yeah.
finding some work to get myself started. But my plan originally was to try and get into investment banking because I'm doing a financial degree at uni.
Hmm.
But if Forex goes well, obviously there's no need. Why would I trade for someone else when I can make more money doing it on my own?
you can almost make what, I mean, if you were starting a starting salary in what an investment bank, you'd be looking probably 25 grand a year if you're lucky. And if you can make 10 or 5 figures in a day, then it's almost
yeah,
like,
no point.
What's the point? What's the point? But again, I imagine a lot of the skills that you've been learning and a lot of the knowledge you've been taking away from your uni degree in investment banking or whatever you're doing, I imagine a lot of that has been helping you with your trading as well. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I reckon having that general knowledge in the financial field, obviously, if people aren't in it at all, I highly recommend trying to just read some journals here and there, look at some economic news rather than just the general like BBC news here and there, because it helps a whole lot.
Yeah, because one thing that I'm noticing a lot at the moment is I'm getting a lot of traders that come to me. They've got a fairly good understanding of like technical analysis, but they just completely neglect the fundamental side and actually understanding economical data, which is, I imagine, is something that you've been implementing quite a lot into your trading from the knowledge that you've got from your uni course, which I assume is what's one of the main factors that are helping you actually sort of get these results.
Yeah, I think that 10K day I actually got from trading the non-farmers payroll news coming out. So I think if I wasn't aware of that, I would have just gone off technicals. I would have screwed myself. I would have just had one trade, cried about it, getting hit stop loss or something, and just probably quit trading at that point.
Yeah. That's one thing that happens is a lot of people they just, well, especially the people that have no idea about fundamentals, is they just ignore fundamentals and they don't realize that the fundamentals is ultimately what drives the market. So if you compare a good technical setup with some solid fundamentals, once you've had a bit of a research into what potential data could come out, these are the types of results that you can get. So then, you've been doing really, really well, raking in the profits at the moment. What would your advice be to somebody that is perhaps at the beginning of where you started? They might perhaps having a little play on trading 212. They want to get into trading. What would your advice be?
I reckon get the investment in the education 100%. Like obviously, as a uni student, I'm already paying to get some knowledge. So paying, I reckon, what's it, like £1,000, £2,000, whatever it might be for a course, is a lot more worth it and valuable. Whether you use that knowledge now, 10 years, 15 years, whatever, you've got the knowledge. It's a lot better than buying some clothes, a car, financing a car, something like that. It's a lot better to have that, make some money off of it, than just lose money on impressing people that probably don't even care about what you bought.
Yeah, exactly that. So yeah, thanks for jumping on with me anyway.
No worries.
A nice short, quick interview, straight to the point. What would your one final word be for anybody sat on the fence of joining Forex Kickstarter? Perhaps this interview is going to be what's going to push them over the edge and help them get started. What would your final words be to those people?
I reckon go ahead, buy the course. It's honestly, it's made me go from crazy reactions over 2p to making £10,000 in a day. I mean, you get this knowledge, you get to work with people that are doing it as well. And I think that is what pushes me a lot. Seeing obviously yourself do it, seeing, I think we've got Andrew and Tom, they're going crazy with it as well. Seeing them, everyone's motivating each other in this group, and it's honestly just amazing to see. So I reckon if you're on the fence, just go for it. You never know how. It's better to lose £2,000 and tried it than to not spend £2,000 or however much it is and be missing out.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you very much for jumping on, mate.
No
I really appreciate your time. That has been Kevin. Another interview, another fantastic Forex Kickstarter student that has done very, very well. For anybody that's on the fence, check the bio below and get in contact with us, and we can look to get you on the team.